In the previous class, we have started about the fundamentals of the memory system. How the memory system is going to take the data and from the registers, how it is going to transfer the data. And we have also seen about this diagram wherein all the previous concepts were clubbed together, and the different organizations of the MAR, MDR and ALU, general purpose registers, and the special purpose registers were organized. Here we are seeing a new unit, that is the ALU. In the ALU we are having two inputs, A and B. Here A and B are taking the inputs. One B is taking from the bus and A is taking from a mux. In this mux only we are having two inputs here. So either we can take a select Y or we can take a select constant 4. So what is Y here? Whatever data is present directly on the bus, that will be stored in this register Y. This can be given as an input to A, or we can give a constant 4. We are giving a constant 4 whenever we want to increase the address. Suppose it is 3000 now. If the address is 3000, I want to advance the address, means I want to go to the next address. So 3000 plus 4, that is 3004 will be my next address. So whenever you want to go to the next addresses, that time we are using this constant 4. Okay. Then why we are using this 4? I already told you that when we are taking a byte addressability, that time each word, if it is of a 32-bit word, then 32-bit divided by 8. So each word will be having 4 bytes. So when we want to go to the next word, we have to travel 4 bytes to next place. So we are adding here 4. So this is what we have studied here in the previous classes. And today we will be studying about, and also we have studied about the register transfer. So what is this register transfer? So here we are having two concepts to keep in mind, that is RI in and RI out. So whenever we want to store some data into register, the time RI in will be set to 1. Whenever we want to store some data, RI in will be set to 1. Whenever we want to write some data from register to somewhere else, whenever we want to copy the data from the register to somewhere else, from means what? From means it is going somewhere else, outside it is going, so RI out. So whenever we want to copy the data, it will be RI out. Whenever we want to store the data, it will be RI in. So this is what we have studied here. So now we will be studying about performing an arithmetic and logical operations. See, we are having here arithmetic and logic unit we are having, is it not? So how this arithmetic and logic unit will perform the operations? So it is going to perform, see, it is having many signals. It is having many control signals. It is having add, subtract, and, or, not, XOR, like this. Many signals are there. Whenever you want to perform add, only this control signal will be set to 1. When only the add control signal will be set to 1 and all other signals will be set to 0. Okay, means they will be not set to anything. So like this it is going to add. Let us see that in detail here. So this is what we want to have here. Here we are going to see one example, that is we want to add the contents of register R1 to the contents of register R2 and then store the result in R3. So this I have written in the form of a equation here. So we are adding add R1 comma R2, means add the contents of R1 to the contents of R2 and store the results in R3. So this is what we want to do. So now here in ALU what we can do, we are having here A and B. So this R1 should be given as one input, R2 should be given as another input. Then whatever result it is adding here, see here we are having add signal, is it not? This add signal will be set to 1, or that add signal will be activated. So when this add signal is activated, it will add these to A and B and store the result in Z. Okay, it is storing the result in Z. When the result is stored in Z, then I can transfer it to register R3. From here register R3 I can transfer it to register R3. So from Z I can transfer to R3. Now we have to decide, so what we are going to give the input for A and B. Now you can see that A is taking the input from this mux from register Y. So we have to first store one of the register contents. You have to store R1 in the register Y. Then you have to store R2 from this bus. One is A is coming from Y. So here I can store R1. Then B, this here I can store R2. Then this A will be R1, B will be R2. Then we are adding and we are storing the result in Z. That Z can be taken out and stored in R3. So this is the logic we are going to use. But how are we going to establish this one? Using the instruction. So what I told you now, first you have to store the result, you have to store the data present in R1 to Y register. Means you are copying from R1 to Y. So from R1 means R1 out should be taken. R1 out means whatever data is present in R1, it is first stored on the bus now. Whatever first stored on the bus, R1 register contents are stored on the bus. Now the data which is stored on the bus should be transferred to where? It should be transferred to Y register. So now what I have to do? Y register is taking input. So I am taking here Y in. From R1 it is taking to R2. So R1 out comma Y in means the contents of this register R1 are stored into the Y in register, means it is stored in the Y register. Now in Y already I am having R1. Then this R1 data can be transferred to A via mux. So now here which select Y option is taken. So here we are having two selects, no, select Y and constant 4. Now, but I want the data which is stored in Y. So I am taking here select Y. So I have given the A as register, R1 is already given now. Next now B. In this B is taking the data directly from this B is directly taking the data from the bus. So this R2 should be stored on bus. From R2 to bus. From R2 to bus means what? R2 out. We are taking R2 out. So when I tell R2 out, the data from that R2 will be automatically stored on this bus. Okay. Then now here see select Y is used. Why? Because I want to add the data from this register. So select Y is taken and that input is given here. So we are having the R1 here. We are having R2. So then we are doing add operation. We are taking R1. See Y means here Y is R1 and we are taking R2 from the bus and we are doing add operation. So after doing the add operation we are storing in Z in. Z in Y it is taken Z in. See we are storing means it is taken in. We are copying from means it is taken out. Storing in means in is taken here. So store the result in Z in. Now this result of addition is present in the Z in register. Next I want to store the data which is present in Z into the register R3. So what I do? From register to R3. From means what? From means Z out. So I am taking out. So please remember from means out will be taking. Okay. To means in will be taking. From something, from register Ri means Ri out to register Ri. So it will be Ri in. So please keep this in mind. Then Z out to R3. See 2 R3 means 2 what? 2 means in, no? So R3 in. So like this the ALU is going to work. Okay. So this is the circuit diagram. Just we are using here clock signal. We are using the flip-flop signals. And the data will be moved between the registers and the buses. So what you have to concentrate on is this set of instruction. So using these instruction we are going to add the registers contents R1 and R2 and store the result in R3. So this is how it will work. Next we'll be seeing how to fetch a word from the memory. Fetching a word from the memory means what? We are doing the read operation. We are doing a read operation, storing that data into the MDR, that is memory data register, and from that memory data register then we are transferring the data to the processor. So here we have already seen in and out subscripts of the registers, that is RI in and RI out. That in and out can be applied to all the special purpose registers also. Now we are taking only just MDR here. So like this MAR also can be present, okay. So now we are having MDR in, means the data which is present on the bus, it is taking to the MDR. To means what it is? In. To means it is in. So MDR in. Then MDR out means from the MDR register to the bus. So that will be MDR out. So these two, MDR in and MDR out, these are directly connected to the internal processor bus. So they are connected to internal processor bus. Now every register cannot be directly connected to this internal bus. We have already seen expansion buses are required, is it not? Because of the electrical deficiency, or we cannot connect all the devices to the internal buses, we are using the expansion buses. Each of the memory is having its own buses here. So now the register, there are again two versions of MDR register, that is MDR in E, means MDR in external bus, MDR out external bus. This MDR in E, MDR out E, these will be connected to the expansion external buses. So now here we are taking memory line. So here it is connected to the memory line. These are the registers, okay. MDR out E means external bus. It is MDR is connected to the external bus. MDR in means this also is connected to. It is taking from and writing to the external buses. It is taking from the MDR out means it is taking from, it is writing the data to the memory bus, okay. Then MDR in means it is taking the data from the memory bus. It is writing to and taking from the external buses. These two MDRs are taking the data from the internal buses. So that is how this MDR connection and the control signals only for MDR. Same thing can be present for MAR also. Memory address register for internal bus, memory address register for the external or the memory buses. So like this we can have the arrangement. Now here we will see how to fetch a data, means how we are going to read the data. One example we are taking here, we are moving R1, R2. Now you can see that move R1, this is kept in the brackets. So this is which type of addressing mode? This is an indirect addressing mode. So this is the indirect addressing mode. In the indirect addressing mode, see R1 is not having the actual data. R1 is having the address of the actual data. R1 is having the address of the actual data. So now what it does mean? It means that first find the contents of this R1. So in this contents of R1, it may be stored 3000. 3000 is not the actual data. 3000 here is the memory address. 3000 is the memory address. At 3000 some data is stored. This is 10. This is the actual data. So at 3000 we are going to this 3000 address, getting the data and move it into register R2. This 10 will be moved into register R2. For understanding. So what we did here, we first found out the contents of R1 is 3000. Then we went to 3000 address. From this 3000 address, 10 was present, which is the actual data. That 10 is then transferred to register R2. So this all operation we are doing in terms of the instruction here. So this instruction is a one by one it is performed, step by step it is performed. In one step only one operation is performed. These all operations can be combined and written like this. So first we will see step by step. First we are having what? First we have to find out RI contents. Is it not? Whatever is present in RI, that will be obviously an address. That address should be copied in MAR. Means from R1 to MAR. From R1 means R1 out to MAR means MAR in, that is what will be written here. From R1 means R1 out, MAR in. Okay. What they are saying, store the contents of R1. See, this is register notation. So to point to the contents of any register, we are taking the this one. What is that? Square brackets. So in the square brackets means it is pointing to the contents of this R1. So the contents of this R1 are copied to MAR register. So once the contents are copied, now I am having whatever is present in MAR, that is 3000. Then what I have to do? I have to do read operation here. Is it not? I have to do read operation. So read operation is done on the memory bus. So once the read operation is finished, means we have to wait until the memory finishes reading. For that we are using a signal called as memory function completed. Memory function completed will tell you whether any operation, whether it may be read operation or write operation, any operation is over or not. That will be told by this MFC. So we are waiting until we are getting a MFC from the memory. We are waiting until we are getting a MFC from the memory. Next, load MDR into the memory. Once the read operation is completed, the data will be stored on in the MDR. The data which is read from the memory, that will be stored in MDR register. The data will be stored in the MDR register. Then from this MDR register, I have to transfer the data to what? R2. So load MDR from the memory bus means whatever data is present in MDR, we are going to load it onto the bus now. From the bus, then we are transferring to R2. Okay. So what we did here, first we transferred the data from R1 to MAR. See, first what we did, first we transferred the data from R1 register to MAR register. From MAR register we have did the read operation and the data is transferred to MDR register. From MDR register we are transferring it back to the bus again. From bus we are transferring the data to R2. So directly from R1 to R2 we are not doing, we are using these 4 steps here. So these can be combined like this. First step I have already explained here. So what I am doing, what is present in R1, so from that I am copying it to the MAR register. From R1 means R1 out. So I am taking R1 out to MAR means 2 means what? See here I have already told you, 2 means it is R in. 2 means it is in. RI in. So now here 2 MAR means MAR in I have done. Then read operation we are doing. So then from this, after read operation we have to transfer the data to MDR. So from this 2 means here MDR in. So MDR in external. Why? Because we are not reading from the internal, we are reading from the memory. We are reading from the memory. So we are taking here MDR in E, not only MDR in. If I say MDR in, it is referring to internal processor bus. But I am telling from memory we are reading. That is why it is MDR in. So from the bus we are taking, from bus we are taking to MDR and WMFC. See, MFC means wait for, W means wait, memory function completed. Wait for the memory function completed means till the transfer is happening from the MAR, from the reading of that block, to the bus. Here in between bus is there. So from this block to the bus, wait till that. So WMFC, wait until the memory function is completed. Once the memory function is completed, then what you are going to do here, transfer whatever is present in MDR to bus. How do you transfer from MDR? From means it is out, is it not? From means it is out. From MDR means MDR out. So we are having here MDR out. Okay. So now from this, see, from this memory bus from this memory bus, that is MDR in, we have taken the data and transfer it to the MDR. From this MDR we have to transfer it to the bus here. So MDR out to register R2. Okay, register R2 in to R2. To R2 means what? R2 in. So R2 in. So like this we are fetching a word from a memory using these in and out of internal bus and the external buses. So whatever we have studied now, that is depicted in terms of the timing diagram here. Okay, quickly I'll be explaining. Each one of the function is going to take one clock cycle. Since we are combining, see 1, 2 and 3, we are combining here. So it will take one clock cycle, this will take one clock cycle. So each one of the step is going to take one clock cycle. So first what we are doing here, we are reading the data and storing it into MAR. Now you can see MAR is active here. It means the address which is present in the register R1. See the address which is present in the register R1, that is stored in MAR register, and the read operation is activated. See, all these three are being done in the same clock cycle. All these three are done in the same step. Reading the data from the R1 register, storing it to MAR register and starting a read operation. So all these three have been done. So when the read operation is given, that time MR signal is generated. What is this MR? It is memory read. It is the memory read. So it will start once this all three have been kept in the first cycle. Next in the second cycle, that is in the cycle number 2. In the cycle number 2, we are starting to generate the memory read signal. For how much? See, this is only one clock signal, no? But MAR signal should be generated for how many cycles, or what is the length? Here we will be reading 4 bytes. Is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4 bytes. So for 4, we are continuing the memory read signals for these 4 bytes. Okay. So whatever data is read here, that is stored in MDR external. See, whatever data is read here from the memory, it is stored in MDR external. MDR external, not this internal bus. So from the external bus we are reading and storing it to MDR. So now whatever data is read in this memory cycle, it is memory read cycle, it is stored in this MDR. Then we are reading the complete data till here. When the data is completely read, then we are wait for memory function completed signal will be generated. See, all the complete data is read here. Complete data is read. When the data reading is completed, then memory function completed. This memory function completed signal will be generated, that all the data is read. Once the data is read, it will be present on the MDR and it will be present on the bus. Then the data will be taken into next registers. So this is the timing diagram. So you can see the total amount of time the MR is active. For same amount of time MDR also will be active. So because the data once it is read, it is stored into the MDR external. So same timing it is active. So this is the timing diagram for fetching a word. Same thing is happening for writing, storing a word into memory. For storing a word, same thing is happening here, but instead of reading we are having a write operation. So instead of reading we are having a write operation. So what we are going to do here? So this is our instruction to be executed. Move R2, R1 means whatever contents are present in R2, that you have to move to the contents of R1. See, now here same thing we can take, same example we can take here. So R1 is having a register notation, in that we are having 3000 address. So what is present in R2, we are going to store at this 3000 location. We are going to store at this 3000 location. So now for example, whatever is present in R2, that is first copied into MDR in. See this here, okay, MDR in. So whatever data is present here, it is copied into MDR in. Only MDR in is used here, not MDR in E, because we are writing from the processor to the memory. we are writing from processor to the memory. When we are writing from the processor, we are just taking MDR in, not MDR in E. MDR in E is taken when we are taking from the memory side, but now we are taking from the processor side. So it is MDR in. So whatever is present in this R2, that will be stored in MDR in, and write signal will be activated. Before that, first I have to find this R1, no? So whatever is present in R1, see in a register R1, in register R1 3000 was present. So this 3000 address should be copied into MAR register. So that 3000 address is copied from R1. See, from R1 to MAR. From R1 means R1 out, to MAR means MAR in. We are copying the address, we are copying the data, and write function is used for copying the data from here to here, and wait until the memory function is completed. In this way we are going to fetch a word and also write the data.